And welcome back to my Hell in a Cell reviews. Tonight we have Armageddon 2005, Randy Orton versus The Undertaker. Okay, going into this match, The Undertaker was of course the face, while Orton was the heel. The Undertaker was 40, and Randy Orton was only 25 years old. My God. What's even weirder to think about is Taker is 13 years older than he was here now. Okay. Anyway, let's get into the actual match. Undertaker immediately landed a shoulder tackle, and then Orton got up and hit his back body drop, the thing that he does. Taker then came back with a kick right to the face. Orton then left the ring, so Taker followed it with a headbutt. Orton then scurried back into the ring, leading to Taker pounding on him with punches and stomps. Taker then sent Orton ribs first into the ring post. After that, he tried to crawl away, so Undertaker stomped on him on the chest. So far, this is a very one-sided match. Orton then stumbled to his feet, and Taker crushed him with a steel chair shot to the chest. Orton stumbled on the ground. The camera wasn't on him, and that led to, of course, blade job. Cut was right above the right eye, so like right here. Taker then hit Orton in the head with a chair for a second time, which made Orton start bleeding all over the right side of his head, with Taker working to open up and then cut some more. He grabbed the steel chain at ringside and choked Orton with it. He picked him up, leading to Orton getting sent headfirst into the cage. Taker then grabbed the steel steps. Orton eventually got back up and countered the steel steps with some punches. It was effective in at least getting Taker off of him. Orton then picked up the steel steps, but Undertaker kicked them out of Orton's hand. And of course that meant the Undertaker was back in control of the match. While Taker was out on the apron, Orton hit an RKO on Taker using the top rope for an assist, leading to Taker bumping hard. Ow! Right onto the floor. That must suck to take. Orton picked up the steps and hit Taker in the head with them, of course. That led to Undertaker bleeding. Orton continued the offense outside the ring by sending Taker's face into the steel steps. He then choked out Taker with a chain around the throat. They got back into the ring, Orton hitting Undertaker in the head with a steel chair, so headshot right there, my God. It looks like Taker got his right hand up to block it, partly, which led to a 2 count. After that, Taker got up and whipped Orton to the Hell in a Cell, followed by a running attack that sent his body into Orton against the cell. Okay. Taker went up top, jumped off, and wasn't close to hitting, and Orton moved right out of the way. It was a bit of an odd spot, but it gave Orton control, so it did what it needed to. Orton brought a table into the ring, and then kicked Taker out of the ring, leading to Undertaker going up against the cell. So Bob Orton pulled on Undertaker's hair to keep him there. Yeah, I guess Bob Orton was there, apparently. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Taker eventually broke free. He grabbed Bob's arm that was going through a hole in the cage, and he whipped Bob into the cell a few times. Orton charged. Taker moved, and Randy hit Bob to knock him out. Bob was bleeding above his left eye, and he was wearing a white shirt, so that was going to get colored. Orton then slammed Taker into the cell. Bob's cut may have happened when Taker kicked the cell into Bob's head. Yeah. They went back into the ring with Orton hitting uppercuts, that typical little uppercut that he does. Flatliner connected on Taker for a 2 count. Orton was bleeding more than Undertaker was. Taker then hit a snake eye, sending Orton into the turnbuckle, boot to the face, and a leg drop for 2, because he doesn't have the power of Hulkamania to win with that move. Ayy. Taker then picked Orton up with a choke slam by the ropes, and Orton got his foot on the bottom rope to break it. Pinfalls count all around the cell, but you can still escape with a rope break, apparently. That's a bit dumb. Taker then set up the table in the ring, running knee to the ribs, excuse me. Taker set up a table and hit the running knee to the ribs. Running boot attempt. He tried to get the running boot, but Orton got the chain and punched Taker in the groin with it. Ow. That's a very perfect low blow. Okay, Orton then set up the table in the middle of the ring, and then he put Taker on top. Orton went to the top rope, and Orton hit a splash that put Undertaker through the table. And then Taker got up first, and tried to get a power bomb out of the corner. Orton slipped out. Taker got a punch. Orton ducked, and Taker accidentally punched out the ref. Taker wanted another chokeslam. Orton hit an RKO. Orton covered for a no count because the referee was down and bleeding. Lots of blade jobs in this match, I guess. Jeez. The door opened with Jimmy Corderas checking on Patrick. Charles Robinson went in to take over as referee. Bob Orton entered the cell legally. Orton got a 2 count with Robinson counting the pin attempt. Taker with 2 boots. He picked up Orton and hit a last drive powerbomb into the middle of the ring for a 2 count, with Bob pulling Robinson out of the ring. Bob punched Robinson in the head. Taker punched Bob. He whipped him into the cell a few times, and Taker elbowed him right in the head to take care of him. So he was out. Then Taker picked up Orton, but Orton countered with his own tombstone. That looked bad, because if Taker didn't get his 2 forearms down, his head would have hit hard. Yeah. When Taker does it, he protects the guy a lot better, but that was no surprise since Orton wasn't used to doing it at the time. I don't think he'd done it ever. Maybe he'd done it like once, maybe twice. After that, ref Jimmy Corderas went to the count 1, 2. He kicked out. Taker then did that little sit-up thing he does. Taker grabbed Orton with the choke, and Bob went into the ring. So Taker kicked Bob in the head. He hit him with the urn into the head as well. And then Taker hit Randy in the head with the urn. Taker with a tombstone on Bob. Taker then followed by a tombstone on Randy. And Taker pinned him 1, 2, 3. To end the match at 30 minutes, 31 seconds. After the match, the Undertaker tossed the urn on top of the cell. After some replays, the Undertaker climbed up to the top of the cell. He had the urn in his hands, and he stood on top of where the Ortons were down in the ring. Cole said that this match lived up to its name, Hell in a Cell. Taker posted some more as the arena was lit up in its purple light, and that ended the show. Oh. Okay. I have to add a little something. After the show, there was a story going around that Bob Orton Jr., Randy's dad, who bled during the match, had hepatitis C and did not make WWE, and especially The Undertaker, aware of it. The reason that is important is because if you bleed and you have hepatitis C and your blood mixes with someone else, that person can have hepatitis C as well. That means that Bob could have passed on his hepatitis C to anyone that had anything to do with the match. Undertaker was apparently very furious about this, with obviously good reason. Anyway, it was a big deal at the time, but thankfully there was no issue during the match. However, Bob was not used again after this and was released from his contract in February 2006. So that's it for that match. So what do I think of it? Well, out of 10, I'm going to say that it got, at least in my opinion, since it was a very good match, but it was also very long too, but they definitely used the cell a lot. They used weapons all the time. There was bleeding. There was that Undertaker nearly got himself killed accidentally. Alright. It was a bit annoying, though, that Undertaker just completely wrecked during, like, most of the match. But it does make sense. But anyway, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's because it was a fair enough match. It was good, but it wasn't amazing. So 7 out of 10 is what it's going to get. But anyway, that is the end of this review. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys tomorrow.